Okay, imagine ancient texts, but not like dusty old things on a shelf.
Right, more like direct pathways, almost like practical shortcuts to understanding reality.
Exactly. And to building this really profound inner strength.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're doing a deep dive into a really fascinating collection of verses. It's called the Saṭṭhinipāta.
Also known as the Book of 68.
Right. And our mission basically is to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge, maybe some surprising facts about, monastic life back then.
The nature of existence itself and these, well, frankly, extraordinary spiritual attainments they describe.
Yeah, and we'll be focusing quite a bit on the insights linked to this powerful figure, the Arahant Mahāmoggallāna.
Who reach the highest state of spiritual realization, yeah.
Our source material is a specific chunk of verses, TO 146 through TH 1208. It's like a unique window.
A really direct look into these teachings.
So get ready. We're going to unpack some ancient wisdom, maybe reveal some surprising views on the body and mind.
And introduce you to figures who, according to these texts, mastered incredible spiritual powers.
Okay, so let's start with the foundation. What was the lifestyle like? I mean, these verses describe a very specific path for deep spiritual practice. What did that actually look like?
Well, they jump right in, painting this vivid picture. You have ascetics, forest dwellers.
Aranyaka, right?
Exactly. And alms beggars, Pichapatek, who were really devoted to just gathering alms, living simply.
Like living at the foot of trees, it mentions.
Yes, rukamulika. But, and this is key, it's not just about those external conditions. The crucial part, highlighted right at the start in verses 1146 to 1149, is being well composed within. Ajita susmahita.
Well composed within.
Okay. That's what lets them, as the text says, shake off Mara's army like an elephant shakes a reed house.
Wow, that's such a powerful image. Shaking off Mara's army. Sounds like a serious internal battle. So what exactly is this inner composition? Why is it so foundational?
It's really about cultivating a deep mental resilience. Stability. Think of it like building an inner fortress,
Okay.
The external practices living simply, the alms, they aren't the end point. They're disciplines that help create this internal state.
I see.
So when your mind is well composed, it's just not easily pushed around by temptations or distractions or what they call defilements. That's Mara's army.
Right. The personification of those things.
Exactly. It becomes like that elephant, stable, strong, effortlessly shaking off something flimsy. And that inner state is way more important than, say, having comfortable external conditions. It's what lets you really face challenges, inner and outer.
That makes a lot of sense. The outer discipline feeding the inner strength. Okay, so shifting from that outward practice, the texts then turn inward. And honestly, they offer this really stark, maybe even jarring perspective on our own bodies.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite striking.
What are they trying to get across here?
Well, the descriptions are incredibly vivid, almost brutally honest. They call the body a skeleton cage of bones, stuffed with flesh and sinews.
Wow.
Full of stench, loathsome. It's even called a dung basket, covered with skin.
A dung basket. Serious.
Seriously. Guthapais takanat, with 9 streams flowing constantly, bodily orifices, basically.
Okay.
And it says a monk avoids attachment to it, like one desiring purity avoids filth. Compares it to a dung place in the rainy season.
That's intense. Why such confronting language? It sounds almost like self-loathing.
It sounds like it, but the purpose is actually quite different. It's not about hating the body. It's a meditative practice.
A practice.
It's designed to help detach from clinging.
Yeah.
To really, truly grasp impermanence and the body's actual nature, free from all the idealized views we tend to layer onto it.
This is like forcing yourself to see it biologically.
Yeah.
Without the romanticism.
Precisely. It's a kind of radical honesty. By looking squarely at the messy, impermanent reality of the physical form, you loosen the grip of attachment, the craving.
And that craving is a source of suffering.
Exactly. So the aha moment for someone today might be realizing that this unflinching look at reality, even the uncomfortable parts, isn't negative. It's actually a tool for freedom. It's about seeing clearly to become unbound.
That's a really interesting reframe, using stark realism for detachment. Okay, so from the body, let's pivot to the mind itself. This is also profound. The text uses this metaphor, trying to paint the sky.
Right. Trying to paint the sky with turmeric or some other color, it says that's like mental distress. Vihatudayam ivata. It's futile, causes agitation.
because you can't actually stain the sky.
Exactly. So the ideal state, it suggests, is for the mind, the città, to be sky-like, akasama, vast, open.
And well composed within, that phrase again.
Yes, and it warns specifically, don't entertain evil thoughts. Mappa chittahari.
Why? It compares it to a bird approaching a fire.
Precisely, because unwholesome thoughts, greed, hatred, delusion, they're like fire. If you let them in, if you dwell on them,
They burn you.
they burn you. They consume your peace, your clarity. So the sky-like mind is about cultivating this vastness, this non-attachment, where those fiery thoughts just don't find fuel, they can't take hold.
It's like letting them pass through without grasping onto them.
That's a great way to put it. Recognizing that what you focus on shapes your inner world, and some thoughts are just, well, self-destructive. Don't feed the fire.
Makes sense. Don't
Yeah.
feed the fire. And this all leads naturally to that core concept, doesn't it? Impermanence.
Yes. Anikavata sakara.
Impermanent indeed are compounded things. That famous line.
It's central. Everything that's put together, conditioned, will eventually fall apart. Change is the only constant.
And the verses go deeper, talking about discerning the 5 aggregates, the components of our existence.
Right, the panyakakande. Form, feeling, perception, mental formations, consciousness, the building blocks of our experience.
Discerning them as other, parado, and not self. No, katato, what does that mean? Seeing them as not self.
It's a radical insight. It means realizing that none of these components, individually or together, constitute a permanent, unchanging I or me.
So my body isn't me, my thoughts aren't me, my feelings aren't me.
In an ultimate, unchanging sense, no. They're processes. They arise and pass away. Seeing them as other and not self is about understanding their impersonal, transient nature.
That sounds deeply liberating, actually, if you're not defined by these fleeting things.
It is the liberation. It cuts the root of clinging to a false sense of a solid, permanent self, which is where so much suffering comes from. The text says, this realization pierces subtly.
Yeah, like an arrow hitting the tip of a hair.
Incredible precision. It's not a blunt force thing. It's a very fine, deep, intuitive understanding that just cuts through delusion.
Okay, that's incredibly profound. Let's shift gears slightly now from these concepts to, well, the living embodiment of them. The text talks about the attainments of realized individuals.
It makes it clear that reaching nibbana, ultimate liberation, isn't easy. It takes real effort.
Right, verse 1165 says it's not for the lax. It mentions a young monk becoming an excellent man who conquered Māra.
Setting the stage for the example of Mahāmoggallāna.
Exactly, Mahāmoggallāna. The texts spend a lot of time on him and his incredible spiritual power. What kind of things are described?
It's really quite extraordinary. First, there's this scene of divine veneration. 10,000 gods, led by Brahma, the highest deity.
10,000.
10,000, all apparently revering Moggallāna because his defilements, his innotaints, are completely destroyed.
That's humbling, even for gods, apparently. And then there are these descriptions of psychic powers.
Yes. Mastery over form and power. Verse 1183 talks about the ability to create 100,000 bodies in an instant.
100,000 bodies. How do we even interpret that? Is it literal? Symbolic?
That's the big question, isn't it? It might signify an incredible mastery over perception, the ability to manifest intention, maybe influence how others perceive reality, or perhaps it points to a level of mental power we just can't easily grasp. He's called a master of transformations and psychic power.
And then there's the palace shaking.
Ah, yes, shaking Megara's mother's palace, and even the Vijayanta palace.
Which is Sakka's place, right? The king of the gods.
That's the one. He apparently shook them with his big toe.
With his toe. What's the significance there? Especially shaking the gods' homes.
Well, symbolically, it's huge. It suggests that the power of a liberated mind, grounded in wisdom, can disrupt even the most seemingly stable realities or conceptual frameworks. Even the divine realms aren't unshakable before true insight.
It's a statement about the power of enlightenment over, well, everything.
Pretty much, and it doesn't stop there. He actually questions the gods. He asks Sakka about freedom from craving, and he challenges Brahma about a view Brahma previously held that he was eternal.
And Brahma admits he was wrong.
Admits his view has changed, yeah. Moggallāna's wisdom corrects even the highest deity.
And his vision, too. Seeing Mount Mahanaro, distant forests.
Right, vast vision through liberation, seeing things as they truly are, unhindered by normal limitations.
So these incredible displays.
Yeah.
What's the core message? Are they just cool stories or something deeper?
I think the deeper message is the connection. The link between profound wisdom, total purification of mind, and these extraordinary capabilities.
So they're not just random magic tricks.
Not at all. They're presented as the natural result of achieving enlightenment. When the mind is fully liberated from defilements and delusion, its potential is unlocked in ways that seem extraordinary to us. Inner mastery leads to outer capability, you could say.
Okay, but the deep dive isn't all about these amazing successes, is it?
Yeah.
The texts also point out challenges, obstacles, pitfalls.
Absolutely. There's a very clear critique of a different kind of practitioner.
Yeah, this figure, Puhilo, the description is pretty harsh.
It is. He's described as defiled by filth like a worm, attached to compounded things, so still caught up in impermanent stuff, immersed in gains and honors.
Ah, so seeking status, rewards.
Exactly. Superficial things. And the conclusion is stark. He's going forth empty. His spiritual practice is hollow.
What does this tell us? What's the pitfall here?
It's a huge warning against spiritual materialism, essentially. Going through the motions externally, maybe even wearing the robes or living the life, but internally. Still driven by craving, by ego, by desire for worldly validation.
So you can look spiritual but be completely derailed.
Completely. It highlights that things like status, praise, material gain, these attachments, can totally undermine the path to genuine liberation. It has to be about inner transformation, not just outward show.
A really crucial warning. And then finally, we see Moggallāna face-to-face with the ultimate antagonist figure, Māra.
Yes, the confrontation.
Moggallāna calls him outright, compares Māra to a fool touching fire because he's harassing the Buddha, the Tathagata.
He does. He basically says, you're only hurting yourself by doing this. He tells Māra straight up that his evil actions will bear fruit, will ripen.
And warns him off. Desist from the Buddha. Don't hope in monks. Don't try to mess with the enlightened ones.
It's a stern rebuke. And the result?
Māra vanishes. Displeased, but gone.
Right. Now, connecting this back, Māra isn't just some literal demon figure, is he?
No, we talked about that.
Yeah.
He personifies temptation, delusion,
doubt, resistance, all the forces, internal and external, that bind us to suffering. So Moggallāna's victory here isn't just beating a bad guy.
It's the triumph of enlightenment over all those forces.
Exactly. It's the ultimate demonstration of mastery. The liberated mind sees through Māra's tricks, isn't swayed, and simply dismisses him. It shows that complete inner freedom leaves no foothold for these obstacles.
Wow. Okay, so our deep dive into the Saṭṭhinipāta, it's really revealed this layered picture, hasn't it?
It really has, from the rigorous self-discipline and inner focus of those forest dwellers,
all the way to the incredible mastery over mind, maybe even matter, shown by arahants like Mahāmoggallāna.
We've seen how that deep, unflinching look at impermanence, at the nature of the body, the nature of the mind, how that leads to freedom.
And how facing those obstacles, internal and external, like Puhilo failed to do, and like Moggallāna did with Māra, is just absolutely crucial. So thinking about all this, what stands out most to you from these ancient verses? Does hearing this spark any new thoughts about, say, your own relationship with your body or your mind?
Or even just how you approach challenges, maybe information overload, all the Māra's army of daily life.
And maybe here's a final thought to chew on. If these ancient practitioners, through this intense insight and inner composure, could achieve such radical freedom, maybe even influence perceived reality, what latent capabilities might you unlock by cultivating similar qualities, that kind of deep attention, that mental clarity?
What palaces, maybe mental constructs, limiting beliefs, or just overwhelming pressures
might you be able to shake with your own developed clarity and wisdom? Something to think about.